Live from how can I put this? Somber Burbank Shipwreck Studios tonight. We decided to do a special podcast tonight for Kyle Busch. We've stated a couple times, we're big race fans. We're big NASCAR car people, racing. Follow the sport for many, many years. So we wanted to do a tribute podcast tonight. To talk about Kyle Busch, talk about memories with Kyle, talk about feelings about Kyle, and make it all about him. And hopefully someday, if his fans see this, or his son, or his wife, we want to do him right and do him the justice. So,
sons.
No, he's got a little boy, a little girl.
Yeah. Oh, 1 and 1, whatever. He's got 2 kids.
Yeah. He's got. I think Braxton Busch is 11, and the little girl is 4. Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, I'm sure you know by now because it's been all over the media. Kyle Busch passed away Thursday, and suddenly, from a seems like sudden illness. A lot of speculation going on out there, which I think is not right. It's not. Leave the family alone and stop telling your opinion of how he passed away. Media, get your shit straight already. I'm so disgusted with what I read today, with so many different varying opinions. There's only one person who needs to know what actually happened here, and that's his wife. We're fans, okay? Even if you're a teammate of his, you're a teammate, okay? You're not family, you're not blood, you're not his child. Let it go. The doctors, I'm sure, will release all that information. There's no need for shitbag news outlets like TMZ to subpoena or FOIA the 911 call. I thought that was just really bad taste. Leave it alone.
They always
leave it alone.
Shit and bad taste.
Yeah. So we'll start World War III. Second podcast in there, we're calling TMZ shitbags.
No,
but
fuck.
Hey TMZ, fuck you. That was not cool to release that 911 call. That really wasn't.
Yeah.
So
uncalled for.
Yeah, it's just a big. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. And the point is here is there's a family grieving. There's a child grieving. There's another child grieving, and there's a wife who's probably completely devastated. And that's family. That has nothing to do with racing. That has nothing to do with celebrity. That has to do with the love of your family. And I really do think from the things. Now, I didn't know Kyle Busch. I didn't hang out with him. I never had a beer with him. Matter of fact, I don't even think we ever interacted at the track when I was there. I've interacted with many drivers, but I don't think he was one of them. And funny story, I grew up hating him. I liked him when he was Kurt Busch's little brother coming into the series. I liked him when he got signed to Hendrick Motorsports. And when he went to Joe Gibbs, I hated him because at that point he developed his personality and he became the villain. He became the bad guy of NASCAR, the bad guy of racing. So funny thing, 2008, he wins at Chicagoland. I'm in the stands booing him. 2018, he wins at Chicagoland again. I'm in the stands cheering for him because he converted me. I like the young, brash, tell it like it is, go out there and kick ass, drive with the ferocity of a lion. I mean, the guy was great, So we're here tonight to just talk about some Kyle memories and honor him, pay tribute to his family, give our sympathies, and just talk a little bit of racing, a little bit of Kyle Busch tonight. God bless you, Kyle. Rest easy.
Yeah, I kind of share your sentiments about him in the beginning. He was a little bit too snotty for me, but I didn't really mind it as much as some people do. But he is one of those drivers that you love or hate, and with that, I was pretty much going to say what converted me was after he got injured, and he came back from the injury, and I don't remember the race, but there was one of the races soon after he just got back that he got put to the back 3 times and came to the front all 3 times. Didn't win the race, but he was able to get himself from 38th all the way back to the top 10 3 times. And that just I haven't seen a driver do that.
Yeah, he was an amazing race car driver. That kind of talent doesn't come around all that often. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if he would have had top-notch equipment his entire career, he would have had many more championships. I mean, the guy literally, I think it was 239 wins between the Truck Series, the Cup Series, the Nationwide Series, Busch Series, whatever you want to call it. The 3 major series of NASCAR, he is the all-time winningest driver with like 239 wins, which is absolutely amazing to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where he kind of really won my respect, was in the Truck Series, because I really like the Truck Series. And I think it's harder to drive in that series to a certain point because there's a lot of knuckleheads in that series you got to look out for. And the equipment, the trucks are much more cumbersome. They're not aerodynamic like a car is. So I think, that series is a little rough. And he excelled in it. I mean, he dominated that. When he brought out the truck, the best you could hope for is another driver is second place because he was winning it. He was definitely winning it. So
to add on that truck note, 2 weeks ago, when they raced at Dover, he won. Now, everybody's saying, oh, he's washed up, he can't drive the new car, whatever. He went out and dominated at Dover in the Truck Series.
Yes,
won by, like, the full straightaway.
Yep.
And he became the top driver as far as leading laps at Dover with over 1,100 or whatever like that.
Yep.
And that's remarkable on itself, but even more remarkable, it was only in like 10 races.
Yep. Yeah, man. He was a remarkable talent. I mean, my dad loved Kyle Busch. As I would be in the stands sitting next to Dad booing, Dad would be cheering. and we would always argue. We'd be walking past the souvenir trailers, and he'd be like, hey, I'm going to go stop at the Kyle Busch trailer. I'd be like, oh, I'm not going over there. And now I kind of regret it because I probably should have bought more Kyle stuff back in the day. But
I have plenty.
Yeah, I do have a lot of Kyle stuff, actually. But, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was that rivalry he was good for the sport. And I used to tell people as much, too, as to be like, oh, I hate that guy, but he's really good for NASCAR. He's really good for racing.
Well,
he's really, really
NASCAR
good.
always has to have a villain.
You're right. There has to be a villain out there. There has to be someone you love to boo, that the fans boo. That's not a Bubba Wallace. You know what I mean?
It's booing for a different reason.
It's booing for a different reason. But Kyle was unique. He brought the haters and he brought the fans. And I used to see just as many people in the stands booing, and there were just as many cheering. He was one of those drivers that split the mix, and you don't see that nowadays all that much.
No, and his bow pretty much said it all to everybody.
Yep,
I love that.
Well, I remember the one time he got out of his car in Chicago, and the boos were pretty loud, and he does this to the
That's
fans,
like one of the iconic things that they show on his clips.
Yeah, we were sitting where we had great seats for that by the start-finish line, and we had a great view of that. And I just laughed, and the people next to me were like, "Fuck you, Kyle!" And it was like, and I was just cracking up because I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care for him. It's 2008. I don't like him at all." But man, the dude is he knows how to get a crowd, man. He was a front man. He would have been a singer in a metal band. He would have been a great front man, man. He was a David Lee Roth in NASCAR. He knew how to stir up the fans. He knew how to stir up the emotions. And he knew how to drive, man. There's no doubt about that. My dad used to always say, if I ever win the lotto and get my own race team, I'm hiring Kyle Busch to drive my car.
Well, I think he realized the fact that hate is just as much as love because you're getting recognized.
What do they say? Good publicity is better than no publicity at all.
Yep.
Or bad
For everyone who talks bad about you, there's going to be 2 people that talk good about you. And he thrived off of that. He really did. He's got to get a better sponsor for his kid's car, though. I'll just leave that
out there. So you guys have been into NASCAR more than me, or a lot longer than me. And I finally gave in and started watching it because we would be over at Mike's house, and it would be on, and you guys would be watching the race, and I kind of would be there just not really knowing what was going on or whatever. Truthfully, the one driver that I gravitated to without knowing anything at all was Larson when he was driving the Target car.
Larson, yep.
And then I got my job now, and everything changed. Plus, him winning the championship after with the injury and stuff, and like the race that you said where he came back from the back 3 times. Met him at work on a meet and greet. Everybody that I talked to before that was like, oh, he's kind of like stuck up and doesn't want to talk. And it was farthest from the truth when we had the meet and greet. Answered questions. I was in line, and they said, oh, you can ask him a question first, and then we're going to, sign stuff and take pictures and whatever. So I'm like, what kind of question? I'm trying to think. So there was something that I heard, and it was between him and another driver. I can't remember what it was. And I asked him that, and he's like, well, why don't you go ask that other driver? Like, sarcastically, like jokingly. And I thought he was like pissed off at me because I asked that question. And then when I actually like went up there and took a picture with him and signed stuff and that, he's like explained why he said it. And he was like the coolest guy. And it was better for me to meet him than like any of the rock stars I've ever met.
That's cool.
And
That's
it's
cool.
weird because at that time I was only in a NASCAR for like 2 years.
So what did you ask him again? What was the question?
I don't even remember what the question was now, but it was something that I heard, and I think it was with Happy.
Oh, okay.
It had something to do with Happy, and
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. It was like some kind of feud or something they had, or he made a comment about Kyle or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, he feuded with everybody. He feuded with Happy Harvick. He
Yeah.
feuded with Keselowski. He feuded with Hamlin.
Chastain.
Chastain. He feuded with everybody, which was cool. I mean, if you're gonna be the villain, man. I always talk to young kids, young musicians, and I'm like, hey, if you're gonna be a rock star, be a rock star, man. And be a villain. Be a villain. Go out there and piss people off. If that's what you want to do. And Kyle Busch was damn good at that. He got the emotions stirred, man. But my funniest moment with him was after a Charlotte race, after a Charlotte truck race, and he was sitting in the interview, and they asked him the question, and he was like, they're like, so Kyle, how did you get from the front to the back tonight? You moved up and you had some issues. He's like, yeah, pure talent, all me. My crew didn't do anything to help me out tonight. They were basically stagnant, and the splitter on the truck, my truck was complete garbage. I got there because I know what I'm doing in my drive. And it was like, it was shocking. It was so shocking to hear like a driver be that cocky and that just matter of fact. And he was so pissed off at his crew for whatever they did that night. And he called them out on the carpet, man. I imagine that they were pissed at him after that one, but that's racing, man. And then you shake it off by Monday and you go back to building another great car for the next weekend, man. And that's what he did. And the other interview I saw with him was, I think it was Arizona. It was the Phoenix race. And they were asking him questions and he was just replying. He goes, well, I can hardly wait to get back in my car in Phoenix and have a good race and have a good run. Something to that effect. And they're like, but Kyle, what about blah, 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 blah? And he's like, I can hardly wait to get back in my car this weekend and run and have a good run here in Phoenix. And they're like, well, Carl, what about the rivalry about this, that, and the other? And I can hardly wait to get back in my car this week. And it was, he gave like the same answer like 5 times. You can find this stuff on YouTube. Just Google Kyle Busch pissed off moments or Kyle Busch funny interviews.
Yeah.
And then the other one where he was like, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Just here so I don't get fined. He was brash, man. And that you got to love it. You got to love that.
That was priceless about him. But that was one of the things I didn't like about him was his crybaby-ness.
I heard plenty of that.
Yeah, he was always crying, but I guess that just added to his persona. Being the bad guy, and there were times that he would blame the team, for screwing them up or whatever. And yeah, I get it, but a lot of drivers don't do that. Your team has had a hard day. They know they screwed up. They know they're going to hear it Monday morning. And, for a driver to put it out on TV like that was a little bit. If Dale was alive, he would have had words to say about that.
I think you got two totally different guys there. But the thing that runs the same is the level of skill. I mean, they were both wheelmen, man. They knew how to drive cars.
Yeah.
Did Kyle
no
do the double? Did he ever do the double? I know John Andretti did the double.
Mm-hmm.
Your other guy, the Target car driver,
Larson.
yeah, Larson did the double.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
Stewart
doing
did
it
the
this
double.
week.
No, I don't think anybody is. Somebody told me Catherine Legge.
I heard there was a
gonna do it.
woman going to do it. I
Yeah,
don't know
Catherine
what her
Legge
name
was going to do it, but I don't even know what Cup car she's in, or anything like that. But yeah, it's like this Kyle Busch news. I went online. I was checking my messages, Facebook or whatever, and I saw the post from Samantha Busch saying that he was in the hospital. Play for him. He's not going to be participating in any events over the weekend. A serious illness. Blah blah blah. And literally, I was like, oh, no. I'm like, sounds like he's got, like, pneumonia or something bad happened or whatever. I wonder what happened. So I go to NASCAR.com, and there was the obituary already. It happened that fast.
Well, ironically, right before you texted me, I had just went on Google, and that was the first thing that popped up. And I was in the middle of going to click on it, and you texted me, so I clicked on yours, and that's when I found out. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a shock. I mean, it's a shock when anybody passes, but it's a shock even when you look at them, from the a couple days before to, I knew that he had asked for a doctor in the car, and but you just think it could be anything, little carbon monoxide poisoning,
That is, see, there's what I hate about the media. That is not a big deal.
Right.
That is totally not a big deal. So many drivers have requested medical attention after a race.
Right.
And it's due to things like dehydration. It's due to things like vertigo. What he was requesting the doctor, now I had heard this stuff. I have some feelers and some people in the racing community, so I get a little bit of information. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, so don't hold me to it. But this is what I had heard, was that he had a sinus thing going on. And Watkins Glen is a road course, and now mind you, this was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So when he was doing the road course, turning those G-forces in the corners of a road course consistently, really knocked havoc with his sinuses and like kind of a vertigo kind of situation. Where that's why he wanted the doctor, was he was really feeling off because the combination of a sinus thing going on, along with the G's from pulling all those turns and all those lefts and rights, and road course racing is totally different. But then, an entire week went by. They go to the Charlotte track, and he wins in the Truck Series convincingly.
Dover,
yeah. Dover wins convincingly, by literally a straightaway. So where was the he didn't ask for a doctor as far as we know. At that point, he got out of the truck. He gave a great little victory speech. At the end of that, though, he was still sick because he did one of these and either sneezed or coughed into his elbow. And hindsight, you can say, oh, yeah, he was still sick. Well, then, I guess it was Wednesday, he was at the race shop at the GM test facility next to Hendrick Motorsports, and he was in the simulator. And all of a sudden, he'd taken ill, and that's when they called for the ambulance. And things deteriorated that fast, which, I mean, you could speculate all day long. I refuse to do that because it's not proper. It's not good. It's not respectful for him, his memory, or his family to speculate. We'll get the information if the family chooses to release it. And
right.
That's that.
Absolutely.
Our purpose as fans should be to honor him, remember him, smile about him, and continue to tell his stories for many, many years to come.
And we know that his son is definitely following in his footsteps.
I hope so.
I hope this doesn't, because it wasn't racing that took him. It was an illness, and I hope his son continues in his footsteps. And, he does have his uncle to help him along the way. And, I look forward to watching him.
I'm actually a fan on his Facebook page.
Huh?
I'm part of his fan.
His fan club on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Tuesday after Dover, in the timeline, he actually went to with Andretti
Yeah.
to
he was
open a
opening
go-kart track.
Yep.
Like everything was normal,
Yeah.
and then Wednesday was a simulator thing, and then maybe some, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you, man, how fast life moves. That, you can be walking, talking 1 minute, and what's eerie is what happened to him was very similar along that same timeline of what happened to my dad. So, I mean, like I said, you can sit here and speculate all night long, but fact of the matter is what happened, and, we're here to honor him. We're here to share the memories, share a couple laughs, the stories we knew about him, and honor his memory, because he deserves that. He was definitely, if you're a NASCAR fan, you know the name Kyle Busch. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know the name Kyle Busch. And whether you laugh about it, whether you cry about it, whether you want to punch it in the mouth, he was a racer, man. He was a racer. But what was your favorite paint job of the Kyle Busch cars? I can't do just one, but let's do top three. We'll start with you, Mike. We'll put Mike on the spot here.
The Halloween M&M's car.
Which one?
All of them.
Nice.
Yeah, I I'm a Halloween freak, so of course, that one's going to be it, or those styles up. Obviously, I'm wearing the Monster, and that's because of his team in 2012 and 13.
Yeah, right around there.
In the Cup Series, or in the Cup Series.
Xfinity Series.
Xfinity Series, or whatever it is called now. I don't even know what it's called now.
O'Reilly Series.
O'Reilly, I'm sorry. O'Reilly, yeah.
I just realized that Cup doesn't even have a name.
They stopped after...
well, it used to be the Monster Energy Series.
Yeah, that was the last one.
That was the last one that had a name to it.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. They, I think, he had a lot of paint jobs. I was actually flipping through.
I have
night.
Most of them at home.
Yeah, you do. You have probably the most extensive Kyle Busch collection out there. You have, I believe, you have almost every car he ever drove. How many are you missing? Like 3?
The Halloween ones, yeah.
And then you're missing the Star Wars car, right?
The Star Wars car I'm missing. There's a couple other ones that I'm not really sure that he actually raced. Like there was a cancer one for some lady, and the car was pink, and it was pink and white M&Ms. I don't know if he actually drove that or not. There's a couple out there that I don't have though.
Yeah. How many autographs do you have?
I'd say at least 5.
Nice.
No, maybe probably more than 5. I got a couple cars, couple hats, the M&M's jacket, and then I forgot that I got what's the gas that they use?
Sunoco?
Yeah, the flag.
Oh wow.
And he's got an autograph on it.
That's a nice piece.
So I have at least 5, probably more, a little more than 5.
You should frame that flag. Go to Hobby Lobby and have that thing framed. That's a cool piece.
I wanted to frame the jacket, but it's pretty fucking big.
Nice.
I don't have no room. I'd have to move Star Wars stuff out of the way.
Nice. Yeah, I have an autograph card from when he first started in the series. I had a card autographed by him when he was with Hendrick. But yeah, he was unique, man. He was definitely unique. My 3 favorite paint jobs would probably be there was a red, white, and blue Skittles car he drove.
I got it.
That was a good looking car. And then there was the zombie car.
Oh,
Skittle zombie car.
I got that one too.
That was a cool one. And then, believe it or not, I'm going to throw a curveball out here because the Halloween cars were a given. That was something that M&M's really did a good job with. Sponsorship was changing the paint jobs for him with the Halloween cars. So we're just going to throw the Halloween cars. That's a given. The Ethel, it was the high end chocolate
Ethel M.
brand. The FLM car. I really like the FLM car.
That's a nice one. I like that.
That was a nice color. It was like a green. Like it reminded me of like 70s Chevy green.
Yeah, it's like a
Like a mint color.
Yeah,
almost,
exactly.
You know, but that was a really really cool car.
Yep.
That I thought was cool. The FLM car. But yeah, those were good stuff.
So I forgot about the zombie Skittles, so that would be one.
Yep.
I won't even mention any of the Halloween ones because the ones that they did the last 3 years, where it's like Halloween Town,
Yeah.
and it was like they had an app
Right.
and some bullshit. Those are garbage because it's the same one every year, and there's like nothing really about Halloween on it or the product.
Yeah.
So the Skittles zombie, I forgot what year it is. I have the one after. I don't have the Atlanta Win one, but it was the same paint scheme. It's a Snickers one, but it's all white.
All right.
But
I remember that
But the
one.
paint scheme is flamed and diamond plated.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
so badass. I don't have the actual Win one. I have the one that he drove the year after.
Nice.
That one's pretty badass. And then there was the double mint one's cool, but I like the Kellogg's one with Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
That one's pretty cool.
Well, that
I
was
don't
from
have
the-
any of those.
That was from the Hendrix days, right?
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Oh, and the Star Wars car. He drove a Star Wars car for Episode 3 or Revenge of the Sith or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And that was a cool looking car. I'm shocked I don't have that one.
I don't think I've ever seen that one actually.
Yeah, that one got by me, and I don't know how because I always have all the Star Wars cars.
I like the what I just thought of was the interstate.
Like doing research on the fly.
Yeah, no, because I can't remember all his cars.
I know.
But the interstate one with the lightning all over it,
That was a good.
that was
car.
a sharp looking car, and you saw it on the track.
Yeah,
There was no
yeah.
missing
I
that
didn't
one.
like that one. Oh no, that one was cool. I didn't like the one that looked like tiger stripes. That one was.
No, that was kind of
The one that was the best one out of the interstate one, it's a white one. And then the hood looked like it was getting peeled back and the interstate logo was coming out of it. That one was the best one.
He also had the American flag car,
Yeah.
which I thought, I liked that. But I mean, those guys always have the best cars anyway.
Yeah. M&M's was a great sponsor for him.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're part of that.
When they left, I was really bummed out. I'm like, how could they abandon NASCAR? How
Yeah.
could they abandon the race team?
I thought they were going to come back.
Yeah. You know what would be cool? Honestly, in a perfect world, in Ed's perfect world, get that shitty green color off Brexton's car and make it an M&M's car. Make it M&M's. Step up, sponsor Brexton when he comes into the series.
I mean,
Be his lifetime sponsor. M&M's, here's your shot. You can be like GM Goodwrench. You could be like STP. You could be like DuPont.
Bass Pro Shop.
Bass Pro Shop. Sponsor Brexton from start to finish.
There you go. That would be.
You know.
I'll have to put that in the suggestion box.
Yep.
Not that anybody pays attention, I think, but
You never know. You never know. M&M's. This is your chance to shine. You upset a lot of NASCAR fans by leaving the sport. Now is your chance for redemption. And from what I hear, the demographics, NASCAR's on the uptick now again.
Yep,
Seems
they
like
are.
it.
So, things are getting good with racing. Things are getting good with NASCAR again. So, break loose with some bucks, M&M's.
That the nice thing about the M&M's cars or the Skittle cars and Mars cars or whatever, they were colorful.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
could always find him on the track.
Right.
Yep. You always knew where he was.
Unless he was driving the Snickers because it was like just brown.
Well, I bought the other day I was in CVS picking up some stuff, and I'm walking, past the registers, and they got M&M's does that taste thing, like pick the best one.
I got
And
him
it was
already.
Lemon meringue,
I didn't try that one.
cinnamon swirl or cinnamon bun,
Cinnamon bun, yeah.
and then cherry chocolate cupcake.
That's
So,
the best one.
oh my God! So well, here's the other thing that I don't usually buy M&M's. I don't usually buy candy. But
How
you
dare you?
got me a cherry chocolate cupcake, so that was coming to the register with me. It was like $6.99 for a bag of M&Ms.
Regular bag of M&Ms?
A regular, well, the shareable one,
Yeah,
you know, the bigger bag. Not, it wasn't a snack bag or whatever.
Right.
So it was. But I'm like, when did M&Ms become $7? When I used to buy these like years ago, they were like $3.49.
When everything became expensive.
Yeah, I'm like, for a bag of M&Ms, really? Then I got them home and I put them in my office and I didn't share one. I kept them all in my office and devoured those, and it took me about 10 days. But I worked through that bag, I'm proud to say. But what was funny, guys, is every time I grabbed the bag from under my desk and put it on the desk and open it up, I looked at the bag and I said, this would have made a hell of a cool maroon-looking race car. That would have been a fantastic race car.
Well, and they did that because they had the fan vote car
Right.
for like years.
Yep.
So they probably would have had that,
Yep. That would have made a really, really cool
or
race
at least
car.
a quarter of it, because there was 4 flavors. So there was it would probably been like 4.
Yeah, isn't it? You know what was the other
4
good
parts of
M&Ms was s'mores. The s'more M&Ms.
Yeah, that was good too.
Those were good. Are those still around?
No,
No.
I thought I could find a bunch of like cool ones when we went to the boardwalk at Disney. When we went to the M&M store.
Yeah.
There was a couple of cool ones, but I thought we were gonna find a lot more different flavors.
Yeah. But I kept thinking, man, a cherry chocolate cupcake M&M's car, that would have been rocking.
So the best one now that he drove with Childress was the bourbon one.
The
Rebel bourbon.
That actually sold out last night. I was
sucks.
keeping my eye on it. I didn't buy it because I never saw it race. So I'm like, this has no meaning to me. But it was a good looking race car.
I have one of his cars with Childress. That's the oil one. Lucas Oil when he won.
Yeah, I got that one too. His first win with Childress.
Yeah. I think that's the only one I bought.
Did you hear though the statement from Richard Childress Racing today
about suspending the 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Richard Childress is a class guy. I got to admit, that guy is the epitome of NASCAR. I'm so still salty about the corporate executive from NASCAR that called him a hillbilly or redneck or whatever.
Right.
It's like Richard Childress has more class than anybody sitting in that NASCAR boardroom. Period. You heard it here first. Childress is old school. He's like Richard. You know, he grew up in that same era. Richard Petty, Childress, all those guys. Penske. These guys they're businessmen, but they're also honorable men.
But I mean, come on, you're calling him a hillbilly. NASCAR was fucking put together by a bunch of hillbillies, right?
Yep.
That's how it all started. So
moonshine.
Exactly. You're a jug of moonshine.
Jug of moonshine.
So calling him a hillbilly is that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense.
I was hoping Richard Childress would have walked in that office and just beat the shit out of him, but
He probably could have.
He would have. He could have. I think in his younger days he might have, but he handled it with class and dignity, which was really cool.
Could have sent Kyle in there.
But you know, I think too. I think he needs a shout out that, like, you know what? It's like that team, RCR, has been through so much. You know, losing Dale Earnhardt was a blow to them. You know, the Dillon boys came in. Success moderate. You know, I mean, they had moderate success, but it wasn't the days of Earnhardt anymore. And then Kyle Busch came in and really kind of, I think, improved the program. But they were still hitting some snags. But then again, General Motors, I don't think was giving the support that they did back in there. I think there's reasons for that other than driver talent or engineering money being spent by the team. I think some of it has to do with the sponsors. But neither here nor there. I just want to give Richard Childress a shout out. That, man, love and respect for you, man. You're one of the best owners I think ever in racing. And God bless you. And man, it hurts to see what your team went through, but to suspend that number like that and then say that's going to be Brexton's number, that was pretty cool of you, man. It was really kind of cool.
Yeah, very, very awesome. We need more people like him, or teams like that, and what have you. And it's going to be interesting to see what the race is going to be like this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be sad. I think
it's going to be a somber moment. And I'm sure NASCAR's got some type of tricks up their sleeve.
Did you see what Indianapolis did?
Yes,
I saw
that.
Yeah,
Cool.
Indy. Hats off to Indy. That's the one thing about the racing community. Why I've been a fan for as many years as I've been a fan is it truly is a community. Um, you will have your spats, you will have your drivers, you will have your rivalries, but at the end of the day, we're all race fans. And yeah, I've had a couple of incidents at NASCAR tracks where I wanted to stomp a mud hole in somebody's keister, but for the most part, though, the fans have been wonderful.
It was probably pretty much alcohol fueled.
Well, I'll tell you. The one story was we were leaving and it was raining and it was Chicagoland Speedway, and somebody decided that it would be funny to spin their tires and spin mud all over everybody's truck in the row that I was parked in. So I came out and there was literally an inch thick of mud all over my truck. And you guys know how I am about my truck.
Oh, yeah.
You don't drive it.
My dad was actually scared that if I found the person that did that, I was going to pound them head first into the mud, which I would have if I could have found them. But I couldn't find them. It was, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm still salty about that. And the second time was, this was a funny one. I lost my shit. That was the day I actually met Kurt Busch that day at Chicagoland. They had a special event for members, whatever we were in, our membership status. So we went to this event and they had some race cars out there. And my dad was like, how do they get in and out of these? And I'm like, oh, here, let me show you. And I showed him how you grab the roof rail, that you actually use the roof rail to brace yourself to get in and out of a race car, because I've actually driven a race car at Chicagoland Speedway. So I showed him a little bit about it, and this guy comes walking past, and he makes a snarky comment like, you ain't getting in no race car. And I just turned around, and it was like clockwork, and I'm like, why don't you shut the fuck up before I beat the fuck out of you in front of your kids? And he just looked at me, and my dad's jaw dropped, and then I was like, oh, did I just say that? But it was like
your kids.
It hit a nerve with me and I especially threw the in front of your kids because his kids were with him, and I'm like, you just robbed me of a moment with my father. I'm taking away your moment too. And if you want to fight about it, I'm more than willing to get scrappy with you.
I'll add that to the moment.
Yeah, I'll add that to your moment too. And he looked at me and he's like, what did you just say? I said, you fucking heard what I said. And then I started walking towards him. He said, hey, big guy, hey, big guy. I said, no, hey, big guy, get the fuck out of here. And he just turned around and he started walking. And then my dad goes, oh, you really made him look bad in front of his family. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That was uncalled for.
Yeah.
And then we went on and had a perfect day for the rest of the day. It was a nice day. But it was one of those moments where I just went from 0 to red. And but I was like, really, asshole, you're going to make a comment. And that's, once in a while at the tracks you encounter people like that. But for that one, I mean, I think there were 2 incidents where I got pissed at people. But man, I could tell you 1,000 stories of people I met at Chicagoland Speedway and at the different races I went to that were actually really cool. There was one time, it was a rain delay at Chicagoland.
No.
And oh yeah, the ever popular rain delay.
Yeah.
And we ended up going to the Raceway Ministries tent because it was like, if you stayed under the grandstands, you were still going to get rained on because the grandstands obviously have, the slits in them or whatever. So we're like, probably the best place to go would be Raceway Ministries, and because they actually have a tent and they have the little fire domes in there and everything, So we went in there and we were sitting in there, and we run into this biker guy, and he was the neatest individual. I couldn't tell you his name, but we probably sat with that guy for literally 4 hours and just talking. And it was kind of one of those things that, I walked out of there, my dad's like, oh, I'm really sorry. We probably should have left. The race was probably never going to get restarted because they ended up sending everybody home and knocking it back a day. And I'm like, nah, it's cool. I said, you know what? We met some really interesting people. We were talking to some Raceway Ministries people. We were talking to the Spiker guy and his philosophy. And what this guy did was he was retired and he pretty much lived on his motorcycle, and he would follow the NASCAR circuit the entire season. And he would do odd jobs for like Raceway Ministries, some of the race teams. He would like sweep up, do little cleanup stuff, help them set up. And he would make just enough money to buy his gas for his motorcycle to keep following. And he told me, he's like, I follow the haulers. And he goes, I meet them in the next city, or wherever they're going. He's like, this is what I do now. He goes, and I love my life. And it was kind of cool, listen to his philosophy. But I'll never forget, one of the things he said was like that how the whole world didn't make sense. And this was probably 2016 to 18 maybe. It was a rain-out race at Chicagoland. I'm sure you can look it up. But he was saying, he goes, what's the average person make an hour? Like, what's minimum wage here in Illinois? And I was like, I don't know. I think maybe $7, $7.50. He's like, think about this. It cost you just to go to work. It cost you $50 to put gas in your car just to go to work. So your first 7 hours go straight for gasoline. So you work a 40-hour week. So he goes, and then how much does food cost? I'm like, I don't know, $100 a week. Your next 10 hours go to pay just to feed yourself so you can keep your body running to go to work. And he literally broke all this down to the hourly thing. And he's like, this is why I do what I do. My life now is mine. He's like, I'm not working for anybody or anything. He goes, I work for me. And I was like, God bless you, man. You really, probably not the lifestyle I would choose, but I see how he was so happy doing it. He was really a happy guy and just didn't have a care in the world, Didn't worry about nothing.
Yeah.
Now I want to put in my paperwork for retirement.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
More?
Oh, yeah, more retired. Can I get any more
No,
retired?
you cannot get any more retarded.
No. My bad. Shut up, stupid.
So yeah, that was kind of a cool racetrack story. But anybody else got any Kyle stuff? Because I think we got to keep this under a certain amount of gigabytes or it won't get published.
Oh, no, there's podcasts out there with hours. So
yeah, I know. That's why why didn't ours overgo the gigabyte thing?
Well, we'll figure that out in a minute.
Unfortunately, I was only able to see him in the one race at my
Yeah.
first and only race, and then I closed the track down. Apparently,
That'll teach you. Don't show up
but
at races
that was the
anymore.
best race ever because I got everything you could possibly want to see and not want to see at one race. I had a rain delay. I got to see the dryers. It started during the day and ended up being a night race. Bowman's first win ever.
Yeah. It's Bowman.
My first race. It was at home in Joliet.
You were at that race, weren't you, Ed?
Yeah.
You
he was
were in the
with
stands.
us.
Yeah, okay.
His dad.
Yeah, we were trying to hook up with you guys, but we were on opposite ends.
Yeah.
And shout out to my ex-cold worker John for giving us the pit passes. That was great. We got an infield.
Yeah, that was neat.
That was the other thing that happened. I was
That was
able
fun.
Did you have to walk up and down that big giant
Transport.
staircase to get to the infield?
No,
It's like a
no, we
sky-
came through the field. We came through under the tunnel.
Yeah, we got a ride there.
Yeah.
Oh, when you have to walk, there's this staircase that's like
We did walk in the rain delay, so we weren't getting drowned.
yeah. I was there the year, I think it was the first year. It was when Tropicana was the sponsor. They had this giant orange. And
You told us this.
this
It's
thing
hilarious.
literally, I have pictures of this. I got to get the film developed. I don't know if I ever had that film developed.
Dude, they don't even develop film anymore.
Yeah, I know. Well, they do, but it's
They do.
really rare and expensive. But I have a bag of film canisters from the races back in the day that I never got developed. But they had this giant orange. Now, I mean, when I say giant orange, I'm saying this thing was probably 100 feet in diameter. It was a monster, and it was just sitting on this thing, and it was this orange celebrating Tropicana. Well, this microburst blows through the track, blows the orange off of its stand or whatever it was on, and they're qualifying. The cars are literally qualifying, and all of a sudden this boom, 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 boom comes bouncing down the track. And it was funny because the one car I didn't have my scanner back then, but I could just imagine what the driver said, like, what the fuck is this? What do I do? And go high. It was kind of funny, but all of a sudden they stop it. Like, they get a couple of tow trucks out there, and they finally stop this thing from bouncing down the straightaway any further. And it ended up, we were sitting close enough where we could see what was going on. They actually took out a pocket knife and punctured it, and then they had people jumping on it to get the air out of it. I'm like, oh, Tropicana is going to be so pissed because they don't have a backup.
And there's no juice in that.
And there's no way they're going to repair this thing. And sure enough, the next day for the big Tropicana 400, that orange was nowhere to be found.
Well, yeah, they flattened it, and there's no juice.
They just
found
put
out.
a bag of oranges on the stand.
Well, that was awesome. That was like, that was a really cool race because that was the first year they were coming to Chicagoland. There was all kind of hype about it, and when you got there, the swag they were giving away was awesome. Tropicana had these little tents where they were just, and it was hot, so all you had to do was go to the Tropicana giveaway thing, and they would get cold orange juice, ice cold orange juice. So it was like, and they were pushing their. I remember it was Tropicana acid-free orange juice.
Acid free.
Yeah, it had no citric acid in it, so it was like a really mellow orange juice.
So it was like orange pop.
So the next day, I brought little vodka shooters,
Nice.
and I went to the Tropicana thing, and I got like six little orange juices, and I had myself a nice screwdriver before the race.
Nice.
Without acid.
Yeah, it took years for me and Dad to get our act together, and where we really had it down to a science. Because I remember that first year, I'm like, Dad, it's going to be like Vegas for us. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna, money's not an object. We're gonna go do everything we want to do, buy anything we want to buy. This is our Vegas. We show up, and my dad and I were like, oh, look at this, Dad. They got lemonades, and it's really hot. Lemonade would be really refreshing. And they got a souvenir race cup. Let's get the souvenir cups. Dad's like, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. 2 lemonades. They hand us the 2 lemonades. Take a sip of it. I'm like, damn, this is a really good lemonade. I'm like, how much do I owe you? And they're like, $28. And
It ain't
I'm
that
like,
good.
I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, how much is the lemonade? And they're like, oh, those are $14. Are you fucking serious? I'm like, I looked at my dad. My dad was like, here, let me give you some. I'm like, no, I got it, Dad. But Jesus.
I got to sell a kidney.
Yeah, I'm like, really, $28? Well, then we got something to eat, like, because we were there all day, so we had dinner there. And our dinner was like $40 a person for like a hot dog, fries, and a pop. It was insanely ridiculous. So we figured out, and the next couple of years, man, we really locked it in and dialed it in. Where we knew how to eat on a budget at the racetrack. We knew what places to go to get a good meal cheap. We brought our own food. We tailgated before and after. We had it down to a science, man. By the time they wrapped it up at Chicagoland, we knew exactly what we were doing.
My favorite racetrack was Michigan.
Nice.
I
Nice
do
track.
like. I mean, I would love. I've never been to. There's 3 tracks that I want to go to: Dover, Watkins Glen, and Talladega. Those are the 3 that I want to hit. And but Michigan, man, I love the infield in there, and it's just an awesome track.
Yeah, Michigan's a nice track. The ones I want to go to Talladega, of course. I really would like to see a race at Daytona, and I'd like to do Bristol.
Oh yeah, Bristol too. That would be a cool one.
Mine would be Bristol, the Monster, and the Paperclip.
Ah, nice. Martinsville, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit too close to each other in Martinsville.
That's fine.
I don't like people.
Yeah, it's
So move over.
they pack you in. Man.
That's why you watch it on TV.
Yeah.
I remember in Chicagoland, man, they packed those seats, and then like when things started to fizzle out for NASCAR a little bit, they actually widened the seats where you were sitting because you literally, I think they made seats 18 inches, and I'm like, have you looked at NASCAR fans' booties? Because there's not a lot of 18-inch booties in NASCAR. I'd say they're more in a 23 to 26-inch range. Yeah, it was. Luckily, we got end seats. That was our thing. We had end seats, which was a blessing and a curse because every year you would get the one. I hate to stereotype, but you get the one female that had way too much beer and had a very small bladder, and she would be up 30 times during this what would be the stages. But every caution, it's like, can you wait for a caution to go pee? It's like
There's going to be a caution if I don't go now.
right. Yeah. Those were funny times, but. And then I've been to Brickyard a few times, and Brickyard is, I would recommend Brickyard to anybody to go see a race at the Brickyard because that track is, I'll never forget walking in and going, wow, this place is huge. And I'm like, is this the straightaway? And the guy with me goes, this is turn 2. And I was like, oh my God. And it was so wild because, they're doing their warm-up lap and, they're coming by. And this was the time in NASCAR back in like 98, 99 where they were loud. They didn't muffle these cars at all. There was no PC like, be concerned about people's eardrums in the stands. They could give a shit. They were running. And it was funny because, they come by and it's like, and the stands are all rattling. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, green, 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 green. And you hear the guy drop the flag and everybody. And then all of a sudden you hear all these engines open up. And then it's silence. It's like dead silence. And then you hear like, sounds like bees off in the distance. And then all of a sudden it's like you see the snake coming around the corner. And it's like, the stands are shaking and shit. And you're like, what the hell just happened? And it's like 200 experiences of that. And you're just like, oh my God. Your adrenaline, the goosebumps are going. It's like, wow, this is cool.
Well, I asked Lou this before, but I want him to say it on the air. So we were watching NASCAR for a few years before you got to go to your very first race, your only race so far. And we always did the crank it up.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got there live, what was your thought when you heard those cars for the first time?
Well, I was actually, I actually was just going to say that because when we went to the race, Russ made it a point to bring me right up to the fence in the stands.
Good man.
Hence the walk all the way from the infield all the way around.
Right.
And so they're coming around, like they dropped the flag, they're coming around, and it was like basically the same noise. You hear the bees and then it's like all the way through. And I'm like, oh man, that was fucking awesome. He's like, oh no, they haven't even got the top speed yet. Just wait. And I'm like, what? So I'm sitting there and I could see them coming around, right? And they're coming around the turn. And he's like, you better hold on to your hat. So I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, whatever. So they start coming around, and as soon as like the second or third row passes me, I could feel the pellets hitting me. And then I had to grab my hat because it was going to fly off my head. And it was like, I can't even explain like the thrill of the force outside of the car that it made. I couldn't even like imagine what it would be like driving 200 miles an hour in one of those things.
Yeah. Oh, well, what's funny? It's funny you should mention that is I was talking to a couple crew guys and we were sharing the breeze about some stories. And he was telling me, he goes, oh yeah, man. He goes, the super speedways like Talladega, Daytona, Michigan. He said, it's funny. He goes, because like, especially in the southern states, the ladies like to wear their sundresses. And they'll come up to a guy in the crew and go, hey, where's a good spot to watch the race? He goes, we put them right on the fence. He goes, and the next thing you know, he goes, it's like Marilyn Monroe, man. They're like trying to fight to keep the sundress down. And he goes,
just let it go. Just let it go.
The crews are getting the show, and the girls get to see the cars.
Yep.
And hold their shit down.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's, it is something completely, if it's unfathomable, it's unbelievable when you are at the track opposed to watching it on TV. I remember my very first time experiencing a race car was at Santa Fe Speedway.
Yeah.
Okay, and the dirt cars and funny story with that. I do have a funny track story, and it was at the Santa Fe Speedway with my father. He took me to see the.
I already know what's going.
You know where we're going.
Yes.
Where this is going, but he took me to see the midgets and whatever. I think they even had they had the bikes out there that night and everything else. So it was a nice, it was a long day of racing. But the final show was the midgets. So my dad, that was what he was pumping up the whole time. Oh, we're going to go watch the midget. Okay. So I got to be 5 or 6 years old. And so I'm sitting in the stand, and they bring all the midgets out, and so they're starting them up. And I looked at my dad and said, I thought you said there was going to be midgets out here racing. He's like, yeah, they're right there. No, midgets. My dad lost it. He almost threw up everything he had that day for food. And I'm looking for little midgets running around. They're going to be racing each.
That's
They're
funny.
gonna be running around in the dirt.
Don't tell a 5-year-old you're going to go see midgets. And,
Must explain.
yeah.
That is too funny.
But that was my my hook into racing. And for years, I was a motor builder for race team. And I built Frankenstein motors for them because they didn't have the money to build real motors.
Real engines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, that was what got my hook, and then NASCAR just fed into it. And unfortunately, for years in the late 90s and early 2000s, that I lost interest in it because it just wasn't the same. In fact, right after Dale passed away, it was pretty much over for me until a few years later, maybe 5 or 6 years later, and then started watching it again. But, when I found out that Russ enjoyed NASCAR, we used to sit and watch the races at that point. And then we got Goofy over here involved, and, that...
It's all your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault, and I created a monster.
Well, the beauty of racing is that it really is. It's a trust between man and machine, and it's a man-made machine, and everything in that and on that track is a man-made product. So you have to. NASCAR is. It's like I used to tell my girls I coach, baseball is life, and racing is life as well. Racing is about teamwork. Racing is about trust. Racing is about practice, grit, fearlessness. A lot of good qualities come out of racing, for sure. And,
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie, and there is rivalry, but at the end of the day, it's racing, I used to MC NASCAR parties for the American Legions, and we would always argue. There would be fights, like verbal fights between the Rusty Wallace fans, the Jeff Gordon fans, the Earnhardt fans. I mean, you had your pockets, and it was so tribal how everyone would sit in their own little sections,
It's like the hood. You can't go in there.
Yeah, it was
Don't
like,
go in the
but
person's yard.
at the end of the day, everybody was a race fan. At the end of the day, everybody was a race fan, and you thrived on the fact of you're watching a good race with having a beer, having some good food, watching a race. What could be better,
Yeah.
And I grew up with, there were certain things that in my house that were traditional. The Indy 500 was tradition. Dad loved the Indy 500. And so I grew up watching, Memorial Day was Indy 500 weekend. And, and after Dan Weldon died, I could not watch. I have literally not sat through an entire Indy race. And I think this is going to be the first year that I'm going to make the effort to sit down and watch the Indy 500. And just because I miss my dad.
Well, we should do it together.
Yeah. When is it? They're racing that on Sunday, right?
This Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's always the same day as the Coca-Cola 500 or 600.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I forgot it was the Sunday, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot that was because I'm not going to be here, so we can't do it
will
together.
Be floating around in a fucking boat.
Yeah.
He'll be watching the races. Trust me.
I'll have it on my phone and the boat.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know half these IndyCar drivers now. I mean,
I don't know.
There's a
any of
handful left
Any of them.
from the era that I was really involved with it. But I guess Tony Kanaan, I just saw a thing like Tony Kanaan's like, I really miss racing the Indy 500. I'm like, holy shit, Tony Kanaan's not racing anymore? I'm like, Tony Kanaan was this dude. You want to talk about a goofball? When you look at Tony Kanaan, you see this bald guy from South America that's built. He's jacked up. He looks like he would be a total dip bag, that he would just be like arrogant and cocky and everything else. I have never met a guy that was more fun loving. And between him, Dario Franchitti, and Dan Weldon, when those three would get together, it was like comedy. It was literally comedy. Tony Kanaan is just one of the funniest guys, one of the nicest dudes out there. And that's the thing, hanging around with racers, in the other old younger years. Man, these guys, they're a special breed. And I think it really comes down to the fact that what we should learn from them is they live for the moments. And you never know when those moments are going to stop. You can get in that race car. on a weekend. And if you ever seen the movie, there's a great movie out there called Driven with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah.
That to me is probably one of the most accurate racing movies out there. And I mean, everybody, Days of Thunder is like the movie that comes to mind for everybody. But if you ever get a chance to see Driven with Sylvester Stallone, that is truly open wheel racing. It really hit a lot of home spots for me. But
I've never seen that movie, but I heard quite a bit about it.
oh, it's phenomenal. It is really a phenomenal movie.
Weren't they going to redo Days of Thunder coming up?
They better not. Don't do that. Okay,
Like-
you cannot redo Days of Thunder.
Like, why redo Days of Thunder? Why not just make a totally different NASCAR movie?
I don't think this was a remake. I think it's still using, what's his name?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I still think it's,
Let it go, Hollywood. Let it go.
but it's supposed to be a continuation story.
Come on.
I never saw Days of Thunder to
on.
begin with, but
You never saw Days of Thunder?
no, it
I've
took
only
me.
seen it once.
It's now
And that was like recently.
Days of Thunder is a great representation of old school NASCAR.
Yeah.
Great representation
I
of
could
it. But it's also, my opinion, it's one of the best movies ever made. It is spot on, entertaining from start to finish, and don't mess with that. What?
This is the guy that was burning down Dale and whatever
Tucker and Dale.
Tucker and Dale movie the other day.
Tucker and Dale was a B movie.
It's still awesome.
It was a horror movie.
Best
In
movie ever
fact, the
made.
funny thing is he's not a B actor.
Yeah.
No, that Dale movie reminded me of The Toxic Avenger. It was in the same quality. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it was. If you're looking for a B movie, what is it? Dale does what?
Tucker and Dale.
Tucker and Dale.
Tucker and Dale.
Tucker and Dale. I can't remember the rest of the title, but Tucker and
Something
Dale.
evil.
Yeah,
I don't
and
remember.
it's. I don't know. Are
No,
you,
I could show you a bunch of B movies that are way worse.
Okay, I hate to do this to the man because I love him as an actor, but Machete.
Oh, come on. That dude's
Machete's
awesome. Machete is awesome.
When they got to like 8 or 9, then they were kind of
Wait, there's more than one Machete?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really?
There's at least 3.
yeah. That's why I.
Is it still got the same dude in it? That
Yeah.
ugly Mexican dude?
At least the
Danny
second one does.
Trejo.
Danny Trail?
Yeah.
He's awesome, by the way. Danny, no disrespect, dude.
I love Dan.
I love you.
Yeah.
I think your movies are awesome.
You should come on the show.
There's seriously, there's more than one Machete?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
At least 3.
I did not know that.
yeah.
Yes.
I did not know that.
There was a horror movie. It had something to do in the title with Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie the Pooh's holding an axe.
Oh, that's yeah.
That's a B movie.
That's yeah. You know what? And that's another thing. Don't mess with Winnie the Pooh, man. Don't drag Winnie the Pooh
Wait a minute.
into your shit.
Here's.
Hey, you fuck with this honey.
Yeah.
He's coming after you.
How about the bunny?
The bunny.
Oh God.
Which one?
I don't remember what the name of that was.
The Killer Bunny Man or something?
Oh Jesus! Well, there was Cocaine Bear. I saw some videos last night.
That's not a
About
B
the
movie because
Cocaine
that has like well-known actors in it.
Yeah, it was a B movie.
It was not a B
It
movie.
was
yeah,
a B movie.
it's not considered a B movie.
Yeah, it's not considered.
In my opinion.
It's,
and
you could say it's a bad
Ed
movie.
Siskel and Ebert say it's a B movie.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
In case you are wondering what the hell we're talking about B movies for, so me and Mike started it basically, and we would like have movie night, and for the most part, we'd end up watching B movies, and Mike would try to find the like worst,
Most obscure shit on
most
the planet.
obscure, terrible B movie that he could find, so we could watch it, and then we would like, what's that? Science.
Mystery Science
Mystery
Theater.
Science 2000 or whatever. That's basically what we were doing. We would like talk through the whole entire thing,
Oh,
whether
my
we
God.
saw it or not. And then Ed has been over for a couple of them, but that's why we're talking about B movies because that's kind of a fun thing to do.
Was it me and you, Mike, that watched the Rob Zombie movie and we laughed through the entire thing?
Yeah.
And then we're like,
Which one?
The first one. It was they slaughtered a bunch of people in a hotel and lady gets hit by a car and the clown Ginger Lynn, the porno star, was in it. The clown was like that was his girlfriend. That
Yeah.
dude who plays the clown. And he had like skid marked underpants. He was walking around. It was everything in that movie. Devil's Rejects.
Devil's
No,
Rejects.
that was the
or
House
of a Thousand Corpses.
No, this one was the Devil's Rejects.
That was the second one.
Yeah, the second one. It was me and Mike sat through that movie, and we were laughing hysterically through the whole thing. Well, after the movie ended, they had this trailer on there, and they were talking about how this movie psychologically affected people, and people were running out of the theater, and they were gasping, and they were having medical incidents and everything. And we looked at each other and were like, is there something wrong with us? Because
I would say the first one was more freaky than the second one.
oh, the second one was just brutal with it was like the mind of Rob Zombie. Ugh. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to get messed up in that.
yeah. I don't want to live in his head.
That's a
His
trap.
house is amazing.
Yeah, the
It
house is
is, yeah.
amazing, and his wife is amazing.
Yes. Sharing.
But man, yeah, I don't want to get caught in that trap. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He had a haunted house, and a vagina opening was the entrance to the haunted house.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. You ever been inside of a room?
No, I
I had
don't
to
have
go
a clue. I
there. I
had
had to go there.
3 kids and no idea what one of those are. It's scary after the fact.
I wonder why they're Polish.
I could sing my famous song, but that would be wrong.
Well,
So, what do you think they're gonna do for Kyle tomorrow or Sunday?
You know, I think they're going to definitely do probably a speech beforehand, talk about him a little bit. They're probably going to do the video montage for television, probably run it simultaneously on the big screens at the track.
Right.
And then I probably believe that I would guess that they're going to run a silent 8th lap. They're going to do a missing man formation during the parade laps.
yep.
They're going to do a missing car. They're going to hold a spot for him, maybe the pole position or whatever. And then on the 8th lap, they're going to do that moment of silence thing. And
I've never seen it before.
Well,
really, yeah, NASCAR really,
they do it up.
yeah. And I guess, is it the truck series? One of the series, they're all running KBM decals on their cars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all running KBM decals. So.
I mean, that would be cool for Cup, too. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Cup will have a special decal that they're gonna run. You know, I think what they do sometimes though is they don't release that because they don't want people scalping. You know?
Yeah.
Because the money I've already seen on Amazon and on eBay and different things, Facebook. People are selling like Kyle Busch memorial T-shirts. Kyle Busch, that shit's not licensed. You know, which if you're gonna buy something, people try to buy a licensed product so that the money goes back to the family, because you know, a lot of people you could think, hey, you know what? Oh, Kyle Busch was a millionaire. Kyle Busch was a millionaire. They're not going to be hurting for money, and you're probably right. I would guess that Kyle Busch had a very good management team around him that got him good insurance policies, and he's going to be set for life, and his family's not going to have all that many worries. But when you lose a breadwinner, you're going to have worries and you're going to have stresses. And you know what? Kyle worked for his name and his reputation, and he gets paid for every piece of merchandise, whether it be a penny or a dime. He gets paid for every piece of merchandise that's sold that's licensed by licensed merchandise. Last night I went to rowdybush.com and I ordered a Truck Win t-shirt from Dover. That's a pre-order. So I pre-ordered my t-shirt. Everything else on that website besides the pre-orders was sold out instantly. By the end of the night, that whole website was sold out.
What was it on?
rowdybush.com. So if you go to rowdybush.com, I'm sure that they're going to keep that site alive for a while. That was his own site. That was not through Richard Childress. It was through Kyle Busch.
That was the fan club site.
Yeah. So he, you know, buy the licensed stuff. I just wanted a T-shirt to remember that last Truck Win and remember him for, you know, and support the family, basically. You know, when you buy something like that, you're supporting the family. When you buy, you know, a Windcraft product that's got the licensing, you're supporting the family. So
I'm kind of mad I didn't get the Rebel diecast now.
it's sold out. It's sold out through Lionel. It's sold out on his website too, on Rowdy Busch. It's sold out completely.
I'll find it.
It'll be out. You know what? People, once again, people were probably buying 10 of them.
Well, yeah.
And they're gonna resell them. But here's the kicker, is by the time that car comes out, this wave will be over, and hopefully they're not going to be able to take a car that sells for $11.99 and sell it for $100, because once again, the family got paid on $11.99. There's no reason you should be making money off Kyle Busch's
There you
death.
go.
So
People will do it.
if you're doing that, you're a shitbag.
Yeah, well, I refuse to buy from shitbags.
Right, exactly. Let them sit
That's
with
why
their
I give you
product.
my stuff for free,
Oh, you're so kind.
because I wouldn't get paid.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, but buy from the licensed people, buy from the reputable sources, and hopefully,
Or go to the track.
yeah, or go to the track. Go to the track and get it. But yeah, it's sad. It really is. But I think we should probably wrap it up. But
Well, before we go, I think we should just do a moment of silence in his behalf and all the other people that have lost their lives in this last couple days.
yeah. All right, guys.
All right. Listen, this is a good show. No, listen harder. Anyway, this was a good show, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Look for us next time. And with further ado, I'm Mike.
Lou.
Ahmed,
Buenos noches, y'all.
good night. Enjoy some racing this weekend.
Oh, yeah.